Hello, YouTube family. How is everyone doing today? I pray everyone is well. It is such a beautiful day out here today. Wednesday. Whew. Next thing you know, it's the weekend, baby. Well, guess what time it is? Time for tea with tea. Okay, let me start my story. Chapter 1. I have memories as early as 4 years old. I have a couple of memories at 3, I believe. But one of my first memories, 4 years old. I remember living on Clawson Avenue, Clawson and St. Mark's, in an apartment. It was my mother, my sister, my father, and me. We lived in an apartment. I remember how the apartment was made, the layout. Me and my sister always slept in the same room, of course. You know, one of the memories I have. Hold up, wait. I remember living in Coney Island before St. Mark's. We lived out in Coney Island in an apartment building, and we lived on the last floor. And I remember my mother, instead of taking us outside, she used to let us go on a fire escape. Me and my sister used to sit on a fire escape, playing, making mud pies or whatever we was doing, cooking our food on a fire escape. I believe we were 3 and 4. I don't think we was 4 and 5. I believe I was 3 years old. That was one memory I had. And also, I remember taking a walk, me, my mother, and my sister. So we walked to the amusement park area, and it was a ride, and we begged my mother, can we get on? Me and my sister begged her to get on this ride. It was a swing. It just went around, and then it went up high, not too high. So me and my sister begged my mother to get on this swing. And when we got on, the ride started up, and we got high, and next thing you know, me and my sister, we were petrified. We started screaming. We screamed and screamed. Matter of fact, it was just my sister and myself that was on the ride, so it was funny. We cried, we were screaming, but the man stopped the ride, and he let us off. Needless to say, we didn't walk to the amusement park area and get on any rides anymore. But I might have been 3. That was one of my memories in Coney Island. Okay. Fast forward a little bit, 4 years old. We lived on St. Mark's in Clawson in an apartment building. And one of the memories I have is me and my sister, we woke up. We woke up before my mother and father, and we was hungry, and we didn't want to wake them up. We didn't wake them up or whatever it was. But me and my sister, we was talking as, like 3 and 4 year olds talk. So I said, I can go to the store and get us something to eat. So the lock was too high for me to reach. So my sister unlocked the door, and I ran. The store was on the corner. So I ran to the store, grabbed some candy, and ran back in the house. It couldn't have been much candy. How big was my hand at 4 years old? I grabbed some candy, and then I ran back to the apartment. So came in, and we was eating candy. My mother woke up. I don't know what made her wake up. The door closing or something. But she woke up, and we was eating the candy, and she asked, where you get this from? Or something. And I told her, I went to the store and got it. How did you pay for it? And this, that, and this. And we was eating the candy. And of course we was scared, but I didn't get hit. I didn't get a whooping. My sister got her butt toe up, for opening the door and telling me to go and get the candy. Wow. And then in that apartment we lived on the first floor. So our kitchen, we had a window with the bars on it. And people used to come back there, pee, mostly young boys. So one time we was in the kitchen. My mother, she was cooking. She left out the kitchen or something to do something. Maybe she made us something to eat. So we was in the kitchen, and the boys that was back there peeing. We was looking at them, talking to them. I don't really remember what was said. My mother came screaming. What? We was watching them pee. That's why she came screaming. Cursed them little boys out and ran them off. And then I remember me and my sister one day, we was back there playing in that same area, and it was a lot of glass, and I fell. I happened, kids play, they fall. I fell down, and when I fell on some glass, and the glass was in my hand. And my mother, she cleaned it up. I guess she thought that she got all the glass out, but she didn't get all the glass out. There was a small piece of glass in my hand, and that small piece of glass stayed in my hand, let me see, almost 40 years. Almost 40 years. Yep. I remember squeezing it out, because it always felt like something was in my hand. I remember squeezing that piece of glass out. That was like in 2005, 2006, something like that. Yep. All from me falling at 4 years old and her not taking me to the hospital, Brooklyn Jewish, which was in walking distance from where we lived. But that was the same apartment that my mother, she was in the kitchen cooking some fried chicken. We was hungry, ready to eat. The next thing you know, it was some fire coming through the wall. So me and my sister, Mom, it's some fire. There's fire. She's cooking. She was saying something. She didn't jump or panic or nothing like that. But then when she came to where we was telling her to come, because we was screaming, fire, fire. What are you talking about? So she came, and she seen it was fire. She grabbed us and ran out that apartment. The apartment, that was next to us, adjacent to us, was on fire. So the firemen came, put the fire out. And, after it was cleared out and everything, we came back in. We were still hungry. The fireman was eating the damn chicken. My mother was like, that food is for my kids. I don't remember all the words that was said. I'm not going to lie. But, so I guess they compensated her, gave her some money or something. It was still a couple of pieces of chicken left for us to eat. My mother, she always ate the back, that part. And soon after, we moved from there. And when we moved up the street on Clawson Avenue, Clawson Avenue and Park Place. I don't know the between streets. I know it was Clawson and Park Place, because the school that we attended, PS 316, was right across the street. So the apartment that we lived at was on the second floor. You walk in, we lived above a liquor store. So we can never go outside and play. Never. It was on the second floor. All those apartments in Brooklyn have fire escapes. So we used to just look out the window. That was the most we can do. Look out the window. We didn't sit on the fire escape or nothing there. We just, looked out the window and watched, cars go by, I guess. But in this apartment, that's when I started pre-K. I don't think they had pre-K then. It was kindergarten. I was 4 years old. But that's when my mother, she started working at the school, PS 316. Back then, kindergarten, you only can attend either afternoon from 9 to 12, and then, the morning or afternoon. Morning classes were from 9 until 12. Go to lunch, and then, clean up the room and stuff, and then the afternoon kids would come in. So by my mother working at the school, she was part of the PTA. I was able to, if she had to work early, she would stick me in one of the classrooms in the morning time. She still had to be at the school working. She would, also stick me in the classroom in the afternoon. So my sister was in first grade. She didn't go to kindergarten. So, that was fun for me. I was around kids, mind you, where we lived at, across the street from the school, we couldn't go outside because we lived above a liquor store. And it was a lot of, drunks and a lot of stuff going on around the liquor store. As, every other liquor store, drunk people. So, yeah, she worked for the PTA meeting. Well, she was on the PTA committee. I think she was the treasurer or something like that, because she was in charge of the money. And 5 years old, I remember my classroom. I remember my sister being in school. I remember my teacher. I even remember my sister's teacher's name. Hey, Bunny, remember Miss Shaleski, your teacher? School was fun back then, of course. And I remember going to first grade there, and also, living in that apartment. My father, I was a daddy's girl. My dad, that was my superhero. I absolutely loved my dad. He used to play with us. My father, he loved music. Being 4, 5, 6 years old, we didn't know what being drunk was. My father, he used to get drunk, come in, turn on the music, start dancing, doing his little drunk dance, picking me up. I was always on his knee, picking me up, sitting me on his lap. He would stand up and dance with me. Oh my God, that was like the highlight of my life. I absolutely loved that. He was absolutely a music person. I remember he used to love, hold up, what was his name? What was that artist's name? I can close my eyes and see my father dancing to this song. Keep on trucking, baby. Eddie Kendricks. Yep, Eddie Kendricks. He used to love that man. Kind of looked like him too. He used to come in the house. He used to be drunk, but we didn't know that then. Play with us, have fun. My mother, she didn't play with us. She was always doing a puzzle or knitting or something like that, or watching the stories on TV, or, my mother never played with us. She would rather send us off to play with each other. And, thank God we had each other, even though my sister, she was mean to me. She didn't treat me like a little sister. She was mean to me. She used to make me do stuff. She used to eat her candy first. And then, ask for my candy. Then when I didn't give her none, she used to act like she wasn't my friend, or, try to beat me up. She couldn't really do that because my mother would make her stop hitting me. But act like she wasn't my friend, and I used to give her my candy. She kept doing it to eat up my candy, greedy ass. Had some good memories in that apartment. I remember the people that lived upstairs from us. The lady, she had 2 daughters. Matter of fact, they was the same age as me and my sister, Monica and Lorraine. We used to play with them. Then one day we wasn't allowed to play with them no more. I don't know what happened. Maybe my father did something. I don't know. I remember my mother, she started working in Manhattan or taking a training class or something. And my Aunt Valerie, she used to come watch us, you know, after she got out of school. And she used to take us everywhere. We never stayed in the house, in the apartment. When Valerie watched us, she used to take us to the botanical gardens, to the park, to the museum. You know, she was always taking us somewhere. Whew, thank God for aunts. Thank God. Valerie, oof, she saved us. And lived there from 4 until 7 years old. Started second grade in PS 316. And I mean, didn't start second grade. I was in the middle of second grade at PS 316. And that's when we started going to my maternal grandmother's apartment a lot. Grandma Rose, downtown Brooklyn, where she still lives, South Elliott Street between Lafayette and DeKalb. My grandma been there ever since I was born. So we started going over there more. Before that, we used to go to my paternal grandmother's house a lot. Well, I'm not going to say a lot. More, you know, more than we went to my mother's house. We used to go out to my paternal grandmother's house in Laurelton, Queens. And I used to love to go out there. My grandma, oh man. Beatrice Williams. She was just a glow of light. She was a little short lady, but she was so full of love. And every time my grandma seen me, hey Nene, I mean, she would give me the biggest hugs. She always wanted me around her. In my grandmother's room, she had a room that was adjacent to hers. It had a day bed in it. And she's like, Nene, you gonna sleep in there? I used to love to sleep in there. She always wanted me near her. My sister used to sleep in the room with Beatrice, Aunt Beatrice, and I think Terry shared the room too. Terry, Jennifer. But yeah, my sister used to sleep in the room with Beatrice, and you know, I used to sleep in the room next. I had a bed to myself. You know, 4, 5, 6 years old. I loved that. And she was always in the kitchen cooking. My grandma had a lot of kids. I don't remember all of them, but I recently got back in touch with my aunts, Beatrice, Jennifer, Deborah, Essie. I, recently got in touch with them. I found them. I've been searching for them for years. But I used to love to go out there. She was in the kitchen, always cooking. Wake up, she in the kitchen cooking breakfast. Afternoon, making lunch. Then it's like she never left the kitchen, because after lunch she had to prepare the food for dinner. And that food used to taste so good. Oh, I miss her. Last time I seen her, I was 12 years old. I miss her. I miss her. She passed away back in 2006, I believe. I always thought that I would see her again. Rest in peace, Grandma. So, 7 years old, that's when we moved from Clawson Avenue. And, that's interesting. But that'll be in the next video. So stay posted. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you on the next video.